Hi everyone, and welcome back to a new video. This video is going to be what I spend in a month as a single lady living in Los Angeles. I kind of like the idea of doing like a roast my spending type vibes because I know that my spending is a little cuckoo crazy. And so feel free to roast me and be like, girl, you're really spending that much on that? Because I need to be shamed in the comments. So that's what this video is going to be. I hope that um, I don't know that this video is actually going to be useful. Maybe it's interesting to see what a 30 something single year old lady chooses to spend her money on in Los Angeles. But if not, well, I hope you enjoy it. Anyway, okay. So this video is a couple different firsts for me. I made that little intro, and then I also made that like little like me talking as an intro, and then now I'm a floating peach in the top corner of my spending breakdown. So I actually want to start this video off before we get into the roasting of how much I spend in a month. Just to say that like I started this YouTube channel on a whim. I was like bored. I literally started because I was like, I'm about a budget and I like talking through my budget and let me just record it. And ever since then, I've just been having so much fun with it, like a lot more fun than I thought I would. It doesn't feel like work. And I'm just like I've been so enjoying this process of like even learning how to become a talking animated peach, and getting that on the screen while going through my budget and my spending and that kind of stuff. So if you've ever considered making a YouTube channel and you have some extra time to mess around with it and play around with it, I highly recommend it. It's been a lot of fun for me. And so I hope that if you are watching this, that you're enjoying these little additions that I am adding to this video. Okay, that's enough rambling. My spending breakdown. I spent a ton of money. I can't believe I spent almost 10 grand in October. Because if you watch my previous videos on how much I earned in October, it was just over 10 grand. So, yeah, I don't know how much saving I did in the month of October, but there are a couple reasons for it. It was my birthday month, first of all. So I did a little bit more spoiling of myself than traditionally, or than I do on a month to month basis. And then I also went traveling, and I also had some larger annual expenses come out in the month of October. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm just going to be walking you through everything that I spent on. Hopefully, this video isn't too long, and I hope that it's interesting to watch. And like I said earlier, please roast me. Like, please shame me if there are things that I need to be shamed for, because that will probably make me be more cognizant of my spending in the future. And so I welcome it. All right. So at a glance, you can see my category groups and how they kind of shook out for the month of October. I'm going to spend 2 seconds here just to say, if you haven't watched my previous video, I'm pretty sure it's the third video, on my category groups and my categories and how I organize my YNAB budget. That one goes more into depth into why I organize by these super high level category groups instead of by theme of spending, like housing, food, transportation, fun money, health, and wellness. That I use this structure to kind of provide guidance on how I'm assigning my money. Because that to me for 2025 is the bigger priority than understanding where my money was going. Like if I'm spending money on food, is it because it's a nice to have or a monthly variable or a monthly bill? Same thing on like my auto expenses, right? I want to know what category of importance or priority it falls into for me. And this structure allows me to do that at a glance. So, very quickly, going over this higher level view, my largest spend in the month of October was my monthly bills. This is actually my largest spend every month. And that's what I hope is going to be my largest spend every month, is just what I'm obligated to pay every month to survive. All my other spending should be a lot more intentional than that, and hopefully less than what I'm spending monthly. So the next largest group of spending was for my banana stand. And that is because my travel expenses live in my banana stand category because I'm saving to travel all year. And so once the spending actually happens, it's coming out of the same category. The third highest group of spending is my nice to have variables. So my nice to have variables are the lowest priority things when I'm assigning my money. They're the last things that I fill in because basically the thinking is these are throwaways. They're nice to have, they're not mandatory. I don't need to spend money on makeup or nail polish or fragrances. If I absolutely needed to not spend money on those things, I could avoid doing so. But the fact that it's my third largest spend group this month or last month in October just means I had a little bit more play money to play around with. And then again, it was my birthday month. So I did go a little wacky with my spending. Next is annual expenses. I had both my auto and my renter's insurance come out last month. Monthly variables, this is stuff like food, groceries, and gas was my next. And then my Roth IRA contribution is the only spending group that I have in this for future me. So that's always what that spending is going to be. And then my must have variables. These are the things that I'm prepared to spend on every month and I'm contributing to every month of the year. And this October, it was my registration for my car. All right, so let's just see how much spending I did on specific categories now. And the first one is travel. So, like I mentioned, I went on a birthday trip internationally to Germany and Poland. And so that's the bulk of that. And I put everything on credit cards, and I am always happy to do so because one of actually most of the credit cards that I have zero foreign transaction fees, and two, I love accruing the points and the cash back and that kind of stuff. So I'm always happy to pay for things and then have people pay me back. My next largest expense, rent. I need to take 2 seconds here to say, like, I am so incredibly lucky to pay the rent that I pay in Los Angeles for a 1-bedroom apartment with in-unit laundry and a parking spot, actually my own dedicated 1-car garage. I'm very, very lucky. And I'm probably never going to leave. As much as I want a bigger apartment, like the fact that I'm paying under $2,000 of rent, yeah, like I can't leave. There's no way. To me, I value at this point in time in my life, I value the saving that I'm able to do with the amount of rent that I'm paying more than paying a little bit more for maybe a greater sense of comfort. I don't know that a 2-bedroom apartment would bring me a greater sense of comfort. So yeah, I'm just saying I am definitely paying below market in the area of Los Angeles that I live in. And if you are currently apartment hunting, my method was just to stalk Zillow and Craigslist every night and hopefully find something from a mom and pop landlord. And that's exactly what ended up happening. So, best of luck out there for those of you that are looking for reasonable rent in this housing market. Next largest expense is my auto insurance. I pay every 6 months in April and October. So that's what you can see here. And then fourth was my car payment. So my car payment's actually only $452, but I always try to pay a little bit more if I can. And I mentioned previously in other videos that I always put any statement credits or cash back that I get or interest accrued in any of my accounts, I put it towards this car payment, and then I'll contribute any additional that I feel comfortable contributing. And my goal, let's see if I can swing it. My goal is to pay off my car by the end of next year. I'm pretty confident that I can do it. I have less than 13,000 to go, and it's a 48-month term, and I've just hit 12 months. So I'm super confident that I'll be able to pay it down in the next year. Next is my Roth IRA. Again, this is showing up as spending because it's technically leaving my budget, but I personally don't view it as spending because um, it's money that's going to come back to me in the future. So yeah. Okay. This is the one that I deserve to be roasted for. Fragrance. Why did I spend $420 on fragrance? I don't know, other than because I wanted to and because it was my birthday. And what I will say is a lot of this was on samples, not on full size fragrances, because I am trying to slow down my collecting and like smell things first. I used to do a lot of blind buying of full bottles, and I'm not gonna, lie and say I don't do that anymore, but I'm trying to reel it in. And so 420 I can live with. Except I did more spending this month. If you saw, if you saw my other video, I don't even know what video it was. I spent like $300 this month already. Already, yeah, which is embarrassing. Health insurance was my next expense, so I don't get employer sponsored health coverage, but my job does reimburse me for health related costs. Last month, I also paid my car registration. Next was groceries. So groceries is actually less in October than it is in a traditional month. And that's simply because I was traveling. And so, kind of before and after I travel, I don't go to the grocery store. I'm intentionally avoiding buying groceries so that it doesn't go to waste in my fridge while I'm out on vacation. And then plus, the days away mean that I was consuming less food in general here. So I fully anticipate my grocery spending to pick back up this month now that I'll be home. Nail polish and accessories. So, in addition to fragrance being one of my like hobbies and collections, nail polish is also a hobby and collection of mine. And there were a couple of sales last month, particularly Mooncat. If you're a nail polish girly, let me know. Did you buy anything in the Mooncat sale? Have you worn any of them yet? I'd love to know. But yeah, I just did some shopping and I don't regret it. My renter's insurance, nothing exciting. My gym, I contributed to a GoFundMe. I'm not going to talk about it because I will cry. Skincare. I bought a bunch of Paula's Choice stuff because I wanted to try their sunscreen and then also some vitamin C. And yeah, I'm just trying to take better care of my skin. So that was worth the splurge to me. Again, another birthday expense. So, clothing, I bought a pair of shoes. That's the only expense here in this clothing category. Takeout, I don't do food delivery. And so, if I'm ever picking up food, I will take it to go. And that's what this is. Decor and furnishings, I bought a shelf for all of my new fragrances. Work lunch, nothing to explain there. Gifts, it was my nephew's birthday in October. And so, I bought him some gifts and then couple other things in here. Fast food. This is kind of ridiculous. I need to lessen my fast food intake, but I'm addicted to 7-Eleven. I can't help myself. My Costco membership came out in October. Oh my God, I have like a lot of annual expenses that come out in October. That is not okay, especially with it being my birthday month. Dining out was particularly low. Again, I think just because I was like traveling and since it was my birthday month, people were paying for me. So it's normally, I feel like, a little bit higher. Shopping, this category is just like for random stuff that doesn't fit into any other category. Dental insurance, my internet bill, and then all of these are just like tiny one-off expenses. So actually, after going through this, like I don't feel like my spending was that bad. It's this high because there were a lot of high cost annual expenses that came out, and because I did a little bit of extra spoiling of myself. But after going through that, I actually feel a lot better about this giant number. So that is how much I spent as a single lady living in Los Angeles for the month of October. Please roast me in the comments. I think that would be funny. And yeah, I don't know that this video is actually helpful. I think I might have said that in the beginning, but hopefully it was entertaining or informative or just a good way to have some background noise while you're doing something else. Okay, that is it. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.